Sometimes life brings us unexpected encounters that can change everything. One such encounter became the beginning of a difficult journey for Charlie. A journey where he had to face what he least expected. This is a story about family, lost connections, and how sometimes the most valuable lessons come from the most unexpected places. Charlie Babbit, a dealer of exclusive cars, is facing serious problems. He owes $200,000 to creditors. He has only 11 days to repay the debt or else he faces bankruptcy. On his way to Palm Springs, he gets a call from Lenny, who tells him about his father's death. However, this news doesn't stir any emotions in Charlie. After the funeral, he goes to his father's house, where he confides to Susan that he hasn't seen him since he was 16, ever since his father reported his beloved Buick stolen to the police. His father knew perfectly well that it was Charlie, his own son, who had taken the car for a spin to celebrate his graduation without a driver's license, but he still reported it to the police, and the boy had to spend 2 days at the station. During the reading of the will, Charlie learns that his father left him only that very same Buick. The rest of the estate, $3 million, was inherited by a mysterious beneficiary whose name the lawyer does not disclose. Charlie manages to find out that the entire fortune was transferred to the Walbrook Clinic, but its director refuses to reveal the recipient's name. Soon, something unexpected happens. While Charlie is away, a stranger gets into his car, claiming that his father allowed him to drive it every Saturday. Charlie is utterly astonished when the man calls Sanford Babbit his father. Bruno shocks him with the news that Raymond is his biological brother and an autistic savant who is staying with them voluntarily. He doesn't even realize that he has inherited a fortune of $3 million. The nurse warns that strangers make Raymond anxious, but apparently, Susanna has managed to win his affection. Charlie decides to take a walk with his brother and asks his girlfriend to drive the car to the clinic gates. He suggests that Raymond go with him to California so he can watch a baseball game in person. Without informing the staff at Walbrook, Charlie takes Ray off the clinic grounds and checks into a nearby hotel with him. Raymond needs books, so Charlie gives him a phone book and tries to convince Susanna that he has permission to temporarily take his brother. However, she suspects that Charlie has simply kidnapped Raymond. He doesn't deny it and admits that he's hoping to get his share of the $3 million. The woman accuses Charlie of being selfish, saying that he's used to taking advantage of everyone around him, including her. The next morning at a cafe, Raymond manages to impress Charlie. After seeing the waitress's name, he correctly recites her phone number, having memorized it from the phone book. But when Ray starts insistently demanding maple syrup, Charlie loses his patience and irritably asks him to stop. Raymond writes this moment down in his notebook, marking it as an act of violence. Charlie calls Walbrook and threatens to sue if half of the inheritance is not given to him, but the director of the clinic refuses, while Ray continues to amaze. He instantly counts the spilled toothpicks, which astonishes his brother even more. Arriving at the airport, Charlie faces a new challenge. Ray flatly refuses to board the plane, citing a whole list of statistical data about plane crashes in recent years. When Charlie tries to force him to get on, his brother panics and starts screaming. So he decides to get to Los Angeles by car. On the way, they witness a car accident on the highway, after which Ray has another panic attack and refuses to drive on the dangerous road. Charlie suggests that Raymond walk in front of the car until he reaches a place he considers safe. Eventually, Ray gets into the car, but the next morning he refuses to leave the hotel room because of the rain. Charlie manages to get a 2-day extension from his creditors and learns from his lawyer that he can sue for custody of Raymond, which means he could get his share of the $3 million. Ray is completely dissatisfied with the underwear Charlie bought him. They're too tight, and his request to go back to Cincinnati to buy his favorite boxers start to really stress Charlie out. What difference does it make where you buy your underwear? He doesn't understand why such a small thing causes such a storm of emotions. But in order to at least calm his brother down a little, he decides to consult a doctor in the nearest town. Unfortunately, there's no psychiatrist in town, but the doctor clearly explains to Charlie that Ray can easily juggle numbers, but at the same time, he can't tell the price of a car from the cost of a chocolate bar. Raymond manages to find adventure even in the most unexpected situations. He leaves the car without permission while his brother is on the phone. The situation becomes even more complicated when Ray insists on finding a television because his favorite show starts in 8 minutes. Charlie has no choice but to ask for permission to watch the show at the nearest farm. Another evening finds them in yet another motel, and Charlie accidentally learns from Ray that he left home right after their mother died. These words shock him because Charlie remembers someone used to sing him the same song, but he couldn't recall who it was. Everything changes when the hot water triggers a panic attack in Ray. Charlie suddenly realizes that Ray was sent to the institution not because of illness, but because he accidentally scolded his brother, and their father decided to protect his younger son this way. I didn't hurt Charlie Babbit. A painful truth dawns on him. Behind all these strange habits and behaviors lies not just autism, but deep fear and pain caused by a tragic experience. In the morning, Charlie buys his brother a mini TV so he won't miss his favorite shows. He contacts Lenny, who in a panic tells him that they urgently need to pay $80,000 to cover the debt, otherwise they'll be declared bankrupt. At a cafe on the outskirts of Las Vegas, Charlie once again witnesses his brother's phenomenal abilities. After looking over a list of numbered songs, he memorizes their order. And outside, Ray unerringly identifies the suits of the cards Charlie is holding. He turns the car around and heads back to Las Vegas, explaining the rules of casino games to his brother along the way. Charlie decides to pawn his gold watch to get money, which he and Raymond spend on clothes suitable for playing in a casino. Finally, they find themselves at the gaming table. At first, Charlie doesn't trust Raymond with the whole game, but soon his abilities begin to show. The brothers win game after game, and their success attracts the attention of those around them, including the casino's security staff. When their total winnings reach $86,000, the casino decides to put the table under special surveillance. Despite thorough checks, the security staff don't find anything suspicious. And when Ray gets distracted by the Wheel of Fortune, Charlie realizes it's time to call it quits. Now he has enough money to pay off his debt and get his watch back. The woman who sits down with Ray in the restaurant before he starts showing his odd behavior asks him out for a date at 10 in the evening, and Charlie decides to teach his brother how to dance. Susan arrives and tells him that she's now unemployed, but this doesn't bother him at all, and they go down to the restaurant where the head of casino security asks him to collect his winnings and leave the state. The woman never shows up, and to comfort Ray, Susan stops the elevator and dances with him. And the next day, just as he promised, Charlie lets his brother drive the car. Finally, they make it home, and Brunner suggests meeting with Charlie to discuss the psychological evaluation. He emphasizes that their father appointed him as the trustee of the estate, and regardless of the court's decision, he has no intention of giving Charlie any money, but still offers $250,000 if the lawsuit is withdrawn. Charlie refuses the money, upset that no one told him about his brother's existence all these years. In the morning, Ray has a panic attack when the smoke detector goes off, and only by breaking it is Charlie able to calm his brother down. They meet with Dr. Marston, who is supposed to make recommendations before the trial. Can Charlie take care of his brother? Ray, with his characteristic calmness, talks about how he played in the casino and danced with Susan. However, he sees no difference between staying with his brother and returning to the clinic. Charlie, barely holding back his emotions, says that he can't just give up his brother. Over these 6 days, he realized that Raymond is the only thing he has left. His mother and father are gone, and now his brother is his responsibility, and it doesn't matter what people say about his diagnoses because Ray is his family. Marston and Brunner step out to discuss the decision, leaving Charlie and Ray alone together. The young man realizes how much Ray has come to mean to him, and he tells him so. In response, his brother makes a gesture that says much more than words ever could. However, despite all of Charlie's assurances, he is denied custody. Soon, he has to see Ray off to the train, where Ray and Brunner will head back to the clinic. Although at first Charlie saw Raymond only as a way to solve his financial problems, in just a week of traveling together, he began to see him differently. Charlie realized that his brother was not just a means to an end, but a part of his family he had almost lost. This experience changes him, teaching him to value what truly matters.